Well, it's downright cold today. This morning I had to light the wood stove. I mean, here we are, what, May 3rd or 4th or whatever it is. Had to light the wood stove. It's crazy. It's chilly out here. And they're even talking about wind chill factors today. So I don't think we're ever going to get out of winter. So I had a turn, zero turn here. I got new blades on it. The customer's going to come over, make sure it's running okay for him. You know, that it had a vibration in it when he turned the deck on, so that's kind of a subjective thing. Of course, the blade was terribly bad. Maybe I'll show you the blade. There's a big old knock cut out of it, a nick. Same on the other side, but not quite as big. So that's really off balance. And so he's going to come over. I'm going to have him test it. If not, then we'll start looking at pulleys and spindles and different things to see what we can do to get it fixed. I inspected everything. I didn't see anything wrong. When he comes over, I can give him a comparison between the two blades and how they look. Maybe I'll set the other one over here. So, and then let's see. This one, the grasshopper. Tuesday, the fuel filter should be in. I've got everything it needs except the fuel filter, so then we can do a little oil change, a little service on this, get the blade sharpened up, tires aired up, and we can get that back to him. Be happy to get that one out of here. And then we've got this other John Deere. The parts are supposed to be here for Tuesday also. And then hopefully that'll resolve its problem. That's a voltage regulator issue. Hopefully that'll take care of it. Other than that, I mean, we're going to be hunting around for wires to see if we can find a bad wire somewhere. And then Wednesday, all the parts will come in for this. So with this one, I needed to get a new ignition coil. So I went ahead and ordered that. And then I needed a new air filter. So the air filters, I could only get a set of two. I couldn't get just one. And they were $8. So I got to thinking about this. I don't know if the carburetor's any good on this one or not. Because, you know, you got to get the ignition coil to work before you can figure out if the carburetor works. So they had a carburetor with an air filter for $13. So I figured, hey, why not do that? That way I can change out the air filter. And if there's something wrong with the carburetor, I can go ahead and do that. And it only cost me $5 more to get the carburetor. Because I'm pretty sure this is not going to be a good carburetor. It's been sitting around too long. The thing is if I would have just gotten the air filter, and then I would have had to gotten the carburetor, not only would that have been more money that I would have had to spend and have inventory that I don't want to have around because I don't need it, I can save time by going and getting the carburetor and the ignition coil at the same time. And you know, I'll change this regardless because there's no reason not to. For an additional $5, it just makes sense to go ahead and put a new carburetor on it. So like I was saying, it was cold today. So I don't want to bring a lot of firewood into the house because, I mean, summer's coming. And you just don't want all kinds of firewood in the house here in the summer. It's in the way, you know, might be bugs in it. I went and got firewood the other day. Sure enough, there was a snake in it. There's a little garter snake, but still, I mean, I don't want to pick up a stick and have a snake in my hand. Or worse yet, a copperhead. You know, I have never seen a copperhead on this property. I've seen a few black snakes and garter snakes, but never a copperhead. But somebody posted a picture in the Facebook group, said, hey, what kind of snake is this? I mean, it was a copperhead. So they must be around here. I know everybody says Missouri has copperheads, but it's just very strange that I've never seen one here. So I was gonna cut, like I said, I don't know what I've said already. I was gonna cut grass today, but it rained this morning before I got out of bed. So the grass is wet. And the thing is when you come down here, it's really saturated. And I have been known to cut grass in the rain before, or even with it really wet, but I don't like to. I mean, it makes a mess out of the yard, leaves tracks everywhere. And you know, no reason to push the John Deere harder than it needs to be pushed. So I'm gonna skip it. Hopefully it won't rain anymore this weekend. It wasn't supposed to rain this morning, and it did. So this is really muddy, saturated, got a dog print. And then when you come over here, it's just water. So I don't think I'm gonna cut it. I won't get stuck with the John Deere. I mean, if it was a regular mower, I would get stuck, but the John Deere has chains on it, so it won't get stuck. But it sure would tear the place up not getting stuck. So I'll just wait. I've been trying to cut it once a week, but it looks like a forest already, and it's only been a week and a half. We'll wait until Monday, I guess. Monday I don't think I have anything going on unless I get another lawnmower in. You know, I get a lot of people telling me they want to drop off a mower. I had a kid come by the other day. You know, I don't know if they actually tell me they're going to drop off a mower. Well, they do. They tell me they're going to drop off a mower. But I don't know if they realize, how do I put this? So he comes over and he says, now, do you go on site to work on lawnmowers? I said, I try not to. Really causes a lot of problems because everybody's standing over your shoulder, and if you run into a problem, then the customer's all panicked that you ran into a problem, and you're running back and forth to get tools. Just yesterday, I had to work off site for a really good customer. I mean, he's giving me a lot of work, so I felt like I could help him out one time. Sure enough, one of his employees, he cuts grass for a living, was standing right over my shoulder. So not only was he distracting me, he was getting paid to distract me. I mean, the guy didn't want him standing here talking to me, but that's what he was doing. So so I got it all put together. The thing is that I had to come home and get tools, and I should have came back again and got some Loctite. I would have really liked to have Loctite one of the bolts. So, you know, it's I just don't like doing it. So anyway, he comes over and says, do you work off site? And I said, no, I try not to. He says, so if I brought it over, you could work on it. I said, yeah. He says, I don't really have a trailer. So I suggested to go to the U-Haul rental place and pick up a trailer. He says, my dad probably has one. I said, okay, well, I'll be here Friday and Saturday, but Sunday I won't be here. I said, Monday I'll be here. He said, okay, yeah, I'll come by in one of those 2 days. Well, here it is Saturday. Day's mostly gone, and he still hasn't showed up. I mean, he might, but I just get the sense that yeah, they're not going to show up. So I don't understand why that happens so often. I had another guy, and he's still saying he's going to come by. So he called me. He was on like Tuesday, and he messages me at midnight, and I reply, I don't know, 6 a.m., 5:30, somewhere around there. I said, yeah, I can work on your mower. And he said, you getting back with me so quickly is a good sign that you take this seriously. And I thanked him, yeah, I take it seriously. This is important to me. And he says, so I'll bring the mower over, I think Thursday or Friday. Wednesday or Thursday, it doesn't matter. Well, it's not here. So I've messaged him twice. Finally, on the second message, hours after I messaged him, well, it was after I went to bed, actually. He says, yeah, I'll bring it over still. I can't legally drive, and the guy who was going to pick it up kind of wigged out on me or something like that, freaked out on me or whatever he said. So I got to find somebody else to pick it up. And I was like, so what was so funny was he was so worried about me having the responsibility to reply quickly and do all that kind of stuff, but he is not responsible enough to bring it over when he said, look, I don't know, it seems to me that when you give somebody your word, that you should keep your word. Now, there's been a few times I haven't kept my word in my life, but none that, how do I explain this? None of it that, let's call it a contract. I've never defaulted on a contract. It might be a better way to put it, even though it wasn't a real contract. that both parties didn't default on, is the best way to put it. So the way I see it is, if you agree to do something for somebody, yeah, come over and put a roof on for me. Okay, great. And I'll I don't know, I'll help, or you help me, you know, whatever. And so you get over there and you end up doing the whole thing yourself. Well, the contract was help me. You know, we're both going to get up there, we're going to have barbecue and all that stuff. Turns out he's not even home. You're up there doing it all by yourself. So he voided his part of the contract. So you pull up and say, hey, where's Larry at? I don't know. It's well, he's supposed to be here today. I was going to put a roof on. Oh, he said, yeah, just go ahead and go up there and you can get started without him. No, he's already voided the contract. So why would I want to do that by myself? No, that's not the way it works. So I have defaulted on contracts where both parties ended up defaulting, or there was a renegotiation and things didn't work out, you know, those kind of things. But I always try to keep my word. If I say I'm going to be someplace on time, I try to show up on time. But I don't think I've ever had an experience where people do that regularly or consistently, you know, that zero turn. So I close up shop at 4. I start at 4:30 my day. I start my day at 4:30 and in the morning, and I work until 4. Now I will stay after, and I will even work on mowers after 4 o'clock. But I don't want to bring in customers after 4 for a couple reasons. You know, Carolyn and I want to go to Casey's, or excuse me, Casey, Dollar General. We usually do that at 4 o'clock, and by 5 we like to sit down and watch some TV. And even after TV, I might come back out. Like last night, I worked on that push mower after TV hour. So my day doesn't end at 4 o'clock. It's just I don't want customers coming in. But on it, sometimes they'll say, hey, can I come in? I know you're closed at 4, but can I come in after 4? And I understand that, you know, people work and they just don't have any other time to bring it in. And I'll say, sure, yeah, go ahead. He said, okay, I'll be here at 4 to 4:30, somewhere around there. So at 4:45, he calls me and says, yeah, I'm running late. Yeah, I can tell that. You know, that's how I want to say it. Of course, I don't. That's not what I say. And he says, I'll be around there about 5:30. Hey, wait a minute. I've already stayed after. Now you want me to stay another hour? You know, now we're into my TV time, which I don't tell them that. So you want me to stay even longer because you're late. I don't know. It would have seemed to me that you would have called earlier and said, hey, I'm going to be running late. Can you still be there? Instead of making me stay after, and then make me stay after even longer. So I don't understand people breaking their contract. It's a social contract to me. When you tell somebody you're going to do something, you've given them your word. And for some reason, people's word is just useless anymore. And the thing is when I bring this up in public or Facebook or wherever, people will call me the prude and the stickler and, oh, lighten up and all that kind of stuff. And I just find that really funny that I'm the outcast because I'm doing the responsible thing. But why should somebody else take my precious time away? You know, they took an entire hour away from me. Well, actually, maybe hour and a half because, you know, I stayed after 4 as it was. They took that time away. You know, I need to loosen up. Oh, just loosen up. You're just too... Okay, maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's my fault. But to me, you're stealing things from me. You're stealing my time. And I don't think it's right. Of course, I'm never going to change it. I don't care how much I preach about it. I just don't understand it. I don't know how I got the sense that you're supposed to keep your word. And it really doesn't seem like anybody else does. So if you'll click this up next box, it'll take you over to my other channel. I really appreciate it if you go check it out. So I hope I can inspire you. Keep your word so you can live your dreams. Thanks for watching.